Hi there! Welcome to the Sugar Do channel. My name is Irene and today it's time for another Q&A Tuesday video. I got another question in and this one is from Lisette Feliciano. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And it says, I have a question. For a domestic sewing machine, what kind of needle does it need for free motion quilting? Thanks. Thank you so much for your question. I'm actually experimenting a little bit with needles at the moment. So what you need is not really a special needle. So when you're just using normal thread, and with normal I mean, for example, a cotton thread, 40 weight, 50 weight, so a nice thin thread that you would also use for piecing, then you could use a universal needle. Maybe you would use size 80-12, something like that, and then a universal needle could be just fine. So when you're just starting out, look through your needles, what do you have, and just use that for free motion quilting. And when you experience skip stitches, or when you experience that your thread is breaking, it might be time to go on a hunt for a better needle. So I am doing that right now, seeing if I can improve the quilting, and with improve the quilting I mean that I can go longer periods without my thread breaking or without skip stitches. So I am testing out these needles, not testing in the sense that they sent this to me. But I just bought these at my wholesale, and because I am a fan of the Schmetsch, what is it called, Schmetsch needles, I always use them. So I found that they now have Grom needles, and they have quilting needles and top stitch needles. So these are, for example, 5 quilting needles, and what you then look for is the size that is over here. So the size over there is 90-14, and that says something about the size of the needle. So normal sizes are 90-14 and 80-12, and they also have a quilting needle which is a 75-11, and you have a little bit thicker needles that are, for example, 100, or thinner needles, but the range of 80, 75, 90, maybe 100 when I would use very thick thread. That's about needle size what I use. And then these needles are actually 2 types. They are quilting needles and top stitch needles, and they have a little bit of a different specification. So let me tell you what that is. So I just researched this on the Schmetsch website and on my wholesale website to put it in my web shop. These needles are available in my web shop. So I'm just going to check out the top stitch needle and the quilting needle and tell you a little bit what those specifications were. So the top stitch needle that I have in 90 and size 80. So 90 I would use for a little bit thicker thread, maybe 30 weight, and the 80 needle I would use for 40 or 50 weight thread. And they tell about the needle that the top stitch needle is actually made for multi-directional quilting. The thread is guaranteed to glide effortlessly through the long needle eye. The needle creates fewer skip stitches. So this sounds awesome. So let me see if I can already see. Yeah, when you zoom into the needles, not sure if I'm going to get that on camera. No, I'm just going to add a picture in here. So when you zoom into the needles, you can see indeed that the top stitch needle has a longer eye. So they say here it is for multi-directional quilting. So that sounds like free motion quilting. But then they also have quilting needles. And about the quilting needles, they say made especially for piecing and machine quilting. The slim point penetrates easily through 3 layers of a quilt without damaging high quality fabrics. And this needle comes also in 75 size, and So that's a little bit thinner, and it comes also in 90. So that point should be a little bit thinner. And when you look at that, yeah, you could say that the tip of the quilting needle is a little bit longer and pointier, and the top stitch needle is a little bit shorter and wider. And yeah, and the eye of the top stitch needle is longer. So I am experimenting with this at the moment. So when you would want to experiment yourself, I do recommend starting out with a universal needle. If that works for you, great. If you have a little bit of trouble with the quilting, you might want to check out these needles and then make an experiment about it, because these two are both great. I have worked with both of them and I do like them both, but I think I just need to put in a lot more meters and meters of thread and quilting, so I just have to make more quilts with it to really say what are my favorite. But these two, I like them better than the universal needles. So to come back to your question, for domestic sewing machine, free motion quilting, what needle does it need? You don't need a special needle, but if you want to fix trouble with your quilting, then check out quilting needles or top stitch needles. I really hope this helps a little bit. If you have more questions on this topic, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to make a more elaborate video about the difference between these. Maybe I can do some experimenting. If you have other needles you would like me to test out and take that with me in the comparison, just let me know in the comments down below, and I will make a little test setup and let you know what I find. Thank you so much for watching and sending in your questions. I love to answer them on the Tuesdays. So hope to see you again next week. Bye!